Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and you are watching my channel segment called Sip It or Skip It. This is where I have all of my whiskeys randomized on my phone. I'm going to spin the wheel, whatever it selects, I'm going to pull it off the shelf, do a quick review, and then let you know if I'm going to keep sipping on the bottle until it's gone and replace it because I like it, or once the bottle's gone, I'm going to skip it and move on to something else. So let's spin the wheel and see what we're doing today. All right, now we have a Buffalo Trace, just the standard Buffalo Trace. All right, let's go ahead and grab this and let you know what I think of it. All right, Buffalo Trace, $24.99. This is actually my first bottle of Buffalo Trace. I bought this early on in my journey, and I've only had this much out of it. So just like always, the information for the whiskeys right here, along with my sip it and skip it tallies up to this point. This is sweet toffee vanilla. A little bit of cherry note. This smells really good on the nose. And whenever I do a starter whiskey, something just to test my palate, I go back and forth between Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey 101. And I'm actually kind of leaning a little bit more towards Buffalo Trace just because I like those darker profiles, and I'm not necessarily a high rye flavored profile person. So I tend to gravitate more towards Buffalo Trace than Wild Turkey 101. And this is also going to be popping up at some point in my samples, my bottle battles on Fridays. And everybody, not everyone, but there are people out there that talk about Buffalo Trace having a very specific, like grapey note to it. I think this definitely has that Buffalo Trace grapey note, along with some really good brown sugar, toffee, and slight cherry note. The vanilla is there, hardly any spice, if any spice at all. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the palate and see what I think. Yeah, I would say all of those classic bourbon notes minus the spice. It's sweet, the vanilla, the caramel, the toffee, cherry, that grape note that I usually get, or people usually get in Buffalo Trace products, are here. It's almost like a frozen cherry pop, or a frozen cherry popsicle. Not frozen cherry, a frozen grape popsicle. And it's not maybe necessarily the popsicle itself, but it's after the popsicle is gone and the flavor is inside the popsicle stick. If you were to sit there and chew on that stick, that's kind of what I'm getting here. You do get a little bit of a barrel char. You get that barrel or wood note along with that grape flavor in the wood. Let's go and get a second sip down. Yeah, I really don't think there's anything wrong with this one. It's going to be a starter whiskey, and it's also something that you're going to put on the shelf just because it's a Buffalo Trace product. If somebody's going to want to try something that is their, typical bourbon flavor, I would have no hesitation to serve this to them. I like it. It's classic. It's inexpensive. I know some areas are very, very difficult to find. Being in Phoenix, Arizona, and being in my whiskey journey now coming up on 2 years, I don't think I have ever walked into a Total Wine and More without seeing the standard Buffalo Trace sitting on the shelf. Now, granted, they do have signs on it that say limit one per person, but I don't think I've ever not seen this on the shelf. So in my area, all I can say is it's readily available. I'm sorry if it's not readily available in your area. For the price, I think it's great value for what's in the glass. I wouldn't say that it's outstanding. It's not something that is going to blow the socks off of people. If they're going to want to try something, this is not going to wow them. Like I had mentioned earlier, I think it's a good starter bourbon. It has a different profile than the Wild Turkey 101, which I do believe is a high rye bourbon. So if you are a person that favors the darker profiles and less spice, I would go with this one. So one more sip. Let me concentrate on the finish, see if I can say anything else about it before I let you know if this is going to be a sip or a skip, but I think you probably already know. Vanilla, barrel char, great popsicle stick, oak, the ABV, a little bit thin, nothing spectacular. Good all around starter whiskey. This is going to be a sip for me. There are other products in the lineup or other products that I have on my shelf that are in my collection that I will definitely skip. Just like the Evan Williams that I did last week. That's definitely going to be a skip because I have this. And I would drink this over the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond every day. So that's another quick one for you today. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Buffalo Trace. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and just click on that little subscribe button down there. Share this with somebody in the whiskey world that might get enjoyment out of it. Turn that bell notification on because I produce videos and I release them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And with all that being said, I hope you're enjoying your journey because I am certainly enjoying mine. So till the next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.